Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Just in case we have a few squares in the house, my name is Symphony Sid. I've been around here about 35 years, so some of you may have missed me. CBS Columbia is doing probably the greatest thing that ever happened to jazz. Releasing some of the great talent of some of the people that we no longer have with us. Fortunately, we used to do a few occasional broadcasts. Unfortunately, I was on the broadcast. This evening brings back so many memories. Of course, being here at Birdland has changed a little bit because the bar was over there, the bullpen was over there, and everybody was smoking reefer over here. My studio was in the back right there by the toilet. Naturally, I had to be in the right place at all times. But you know, talking to an audience of laymen, just youngsters who are just learning about jazz is one thing. But talking to you people who have all been invited guests, who probably know as much about the jazz scene as I do, so I can't BS you. I can't tell you what jazz is. You know what jazz is. And once again, we're so happy to bring the scene back in the 50s, of the 50s, here in this room called, as we used to call it, the Jazz Corner of the World. The beautiful things that used to happen, the Pee Wee Marquettes, my little friend, the Morris Levy's, I can't express all the wonderful things that used to happen in this club. Of course, we had a few fights here too on occasion. I remember the days when we used to go to the Apollo Theater, and the days you used to go to the Savoy Ballroom, when Lionel Hampton had the big band, and Illinois Jack had left on his own, and nobody ever thought that anybody could replace Illinois Jacket with his terrific sounds of honking and screaming tenor, until a young man came out of California, and his name was Dexter Gordon. And I remember Dexter as a young man, very shy, and of course, as you know, Dexter's been in Europe and all over the world, and acclaimed as one of the finest jazz players of our time. I, as you know, have been away from the jazz scene for a long time and don't know all the players. I know Joe Jones, I know Kluck, Kenny Clark, I know Mr. Cleveland. So I can't really tell you who the musicians will be on the stand. I would like to, ladies and gentlemen, introduce you to Dexter Gordon. Dexter Gordon, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Sid. Symphony Sid, ladies and gentlemen. Symphony Sid. We'd like to start the festivities I know everybody would like to say hello to Kenny Clark. Kenny Clark. Kenny dropped in to say hello and pick up the key to the city in Pittsburgh. And, check out his statements. Nice. Huh? Also, we have Rufus Reed on bass, George Cables on piano, and Slide Hampton on trombone.